Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning back in once again for another episode of Logik's View. Today, Sunday, February 16th, and a lot to talk about here in Michigan. Today, we're going to jump right into this video with Pam Bondi. She going scorched earth. She letting them have it. Let's check it out. Mm, mm. So, as you can see, Pam Bondi ain't playing. She is not playing at all. So we're gonna be discussing her in a minute because y'all know that Gretchen and Dana and them they don't plan on uh following federal guidelines. Tudor Dixon wrote an article stating how Pam Bondi should stop Michigan from sheltering illegal aliens. Um, we know the Democrats been in control here and they've been doing just that. So can't wait to see uh, what we have on our hands when Pam Bondi focuses her lasers on Michigan. um, so we're gonna get into that article a little bit. We're gonna talk about Dana Nessel and she going crazy over Elon Musk and DOGE. And we got lawsuits going back and forth, as you've heard. Pam Bondi just said she filed a law. She filing lawsuits. Dana Nessel filing lawsuits is going down. Discuss an article from the Mackinac Center for Public Policy. It's going to shock you where your tax dollars are going. I know we've been hearing all about it with Doge and with all the stuff coming out of that committee or organization, group, whatever, government committee. Rachel Smith has been moved up to head the Election Integrity Committee. It's been renamed, and she's the chair. And we're gonna discuss the article put out by I think Detroit News. Uh, no, that's put out by governing.com. So, a couple things we're gonna discuss. We're gonna talk about Pat Kobach's X posts as well, like we normally do. But anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. um, so here's that article I was talking about, put out by Tudor Dixon from the Washington Examiner. I don't got access to the full article, but she's shining the light on Michigan's immigration policy and how she also hopes that Pam Bondi uh, will do something about what's going on. The article states Attorney General Pam Bondi is forcing states and cities to follow our immigration laws, and allegiances are about to be laid bare. Bondi's Justice Department is suing New York and Governor Kathy Hochul, Democrat from New York, over their green light law, which bars law enforcement agencies from sharing vehicle data with federal agencies for purposes of immigration enforcement. If you don't comply with federal law, we will hold you accountable, Bondi told reporters on Wednesday. We did we did it to Illinois, strike one. Strike two is New York. If you are a state not complying with federal law, you're next. Get ready. Hoo, 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 hoo. You hear that, Witchmer? You hear that, Dana Nashel, Jocelyn, and Tom Homan? He ain't playing either. He done said the same type of things. If you violate federal law, we gonna hold you accountable. So it's going down. Trump done assembled the Avengers, the MAGA Avengers. He putting key people in place to turn our country around and take it back from the commies who been placed in position to destroy our country, man. State by state, we are here in Michigan. Yeah, we won the presidency. That's federally. Here in Michigan, we still got to deal with the big three. We still got embedded ingrained deep state corruption. We got rhinos, rhino establishment puppets, all the way down to the grassroots. That's what people don't understand, man. These rhino establishment foot soldiers, they feel so entitled and they so thirsty for to move up. They do whatever their little puppet masters tell them to do. They even take on the agenda and the attitude of these puppet masters. But whatever. We're gonna talk a little bit about Dana Nessel, you know, but it's gonna be a rumble. It's gonna be a rumble when it comes to these immigration policies here in Michigan, and I know a lot of us can't wait. Here go Dana Nessel right here freaking out over Elon Musk. Mm. Freaking out, freaking out. Oh, Dana Nessel, you know, and she about as corrupt as they come. It's so funny. They puppet masters tell them to get up there and freak out and cause an uproar, and they just do it. She filing lawsuits and doing everything she can, whether it's constitutional or not. And y- they, I bet you couldn't pay her any amount of money to say anything positive about what Elon Musk is doing. And all they exposing all this corruption, all our stolen and wasted tax dollars. Like I was telling somebody today, I'm like, I can't. Trump would shut everybody up if he started sending out checks reimbursing us with our own money that's been stolen from us since 1913, since the Federal Reserve came into existence. You know, them Democrats wouldn't have nothing to say. The people with Trump derangement syndrome, yeah, you get a check for 5 grand, your own money, more to come. Boy, that'll destroy the establishment. They've been robbing us of our money. That 36 trillion in debt, whatever it is, it's all ours. Give it back. Here go Dana Nessa right here. Elon Musk is acting like a king. This is put out by Rolling Stone yesterday by Tim Dickinson. Dana Nessel explains the state-led effort to declare DOGE's actions null and void. What is he doing wrong, Dana? He ratting out all your homeboys and homegirls who've been stealing from the American people all our lives, robbing us, and using our own money against us? Man, talk about wicked and evil. Yeah, so y'all can find this article. I'll read a little bit of it. But all they're doing is smearing and slandering and hating on what's being done. Um, Elon Musk and the so-called Department of Government Efficiency are operating unconstitutionally, and their actions must be reversed. That's the striking claim made in a lawsuit filed by 14 state attorney generals on February 13th in federal court. The lawsuit runs 60 pages detailing the chaos. You see all these adjectives they put in there? Detailing the chaos Musk and his DOGE minions have wreaked at federal agencies from the Treasury Department, oh, I thought that was a period, Treasury Department to the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Yeah, so I'm not gonna read much of this. If y'all want to find it, y'all can. They just slandering him. It is a 14 state lawsuit that was filed, like said, and I believe Dana is heading it up. She goes right here to say Nassau doesn't mince words, likening Musk to a king and decrying his lawlessness as by turns terrifying and insane. So the people who trust these organizations, these news organizations, read this stuff, and it ain't nothing good about Musk or Trump or what they're trying to do, and more fake news. But it really influenced people. It's sad, you know. But it's another article too, explaining how um this was from Detroit News. Michigan Attorney General Nassau leads multi-state suit seeking injunction against Elon Musk and DOGE. Attorney General Dana Nessel is leading a multi-state lawsuit that challenges the decision and role of billionaire businessman Elon Musk within the Department of Government Efficiency that President Donald Trump established last month. Yeah, this is just like what you've seen in the video I played. She said he doesn't have the authority of all this or whatever. The lawsuit, brought on behalf of 14 states, was filed this past Thursday in Washington, D.C.'s federal district court and seeks to rein in Musk and his associates as they disrupt operations in federal agencies. Yeah, disrupt business as usual, robbing the American people. He disrupting that. That's all he doing. And in their eyes, of course, he causing chaos and terror. But in our eyes, he exposing the truth, shining the light, and cleaning up corruption, which is the stuff that our government is supposed to do. Musk has unprecedented and seemingly limitless access to personal identifiable information in departments across government, despite being an unelected and unappointed employee not subject to the advice and consent of Congress, Nessel said. Doge's actions are an unconstitutional exercise of authority. How many times have y'all committed unconstitutional exercises of authority? Just because Elon and Trump ain't playing the game by the rules, the crooked, devious establishment rules, they done flipped and turned America's property, American people's property. They working for the people. Y'all, the government is working against us, and they shining the light, and y'all can't stand. We know y'all time is over. Deep state, run and tell your puppet masters that, Dana. She goes on to say, I can think of a few examples more egregious. I, I can think of few examples more egregious really in history than that has been exhibited by Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency Associates. That's what said. That means keep it up, Elon. Keep it up, Trump. If she can't think of few more egregious examples, that means y'all doing great from the American people perspective. That is. Um, the lawsuit is being brought on behalf of the people of Michigan. meaning Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer declined to sign on to the suit. Man, she better get out of here trying to say that she's speaking on behalf of the Michigan people. She better get out of here. This is psychological warfare. Mockingbird, deep state tactics, keep repeating the lies, keep pounding lies into the population head, and censor the truth so they have no choice but to latch onto the lies. Mock and ridicule the truth. Anyway, this is a new article that's really important. I wanted to go over. This was put out by the Mackinac Center for Public Policy. It's an article explaining where our tax dollars are going here in Michigan, and I might not like what y'all hear. It's a brief article. I'm gonna read through it real quick. Shout out to Sarah Rakosi. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but this was put out on Valentine's Day. Michigan is now operating under the 2025 state budget that was enacted by the Democratic legislature and signed by Governor Gretchen Whitmer last June. The budget is the largest in the state's history. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, you couldn't hear Pam Bondi? All right, thanks, George. I was wanting somebody to let me know how the sound was. I'll play it again. Try to see if I got it set up properly. Anyway, the budget is the largest in the state's history, and it includes nearly 994 million in pork spending, as calculated by the Mackinac Center for Public Policy. Now they use these words pork. Of course, we don't know the exact definition. I already looked it up, and it's what you would assume, but it's just it's just extra cash being allocated to certain local projects in certain counties. And the budget analysis reveals that some counties came out ahead and other counties came out behind. The most sparsely populated counties received nothing. Only 12 of Michigan's 83 counties received above average funding for these pork projects. What constitutes average funding? The average county will receive around $100 per capita. That's average funding, $100 per capita. However, that is not the reality. 31 counties receive below average funding or even next to nothing per capita. So per capita is per person, each person. So average funding is $100 per person. Okay. Some counties wasn't even getting that. As we read on, you're gonna see how crazy it gets. Per capita spending was calculated by taking the amount of pork allocated to each county. Pork is extra money. We'll get a more detailed definition of that in a minute, but allocated to each county and dividing it by the Bureau of Economic Analysis's 2022 population data for that county. Another major disparity found upon analysis of the state budget is that 40 Michigan counties were given no funding. So that's half of Michigan was given no funding. Who is in charge of determining where this money is allocated to? How come half the counties aren't given no money? This is not related to inputs, the article goes on to say. Taxpayers in those counties also contributed to the general fund revenue that is being used to fund the pork spending spree in the other 43 counties. So even though these 40 counties didn't get no money, they still contributing to the general fund revenue and the money that's being spent in the other 43 counties. It may also come as a surprise that the county with the highest per capita spending is Mackinac County with 725 per person per capita per person. while the lowest recipient county this year is Livingston County, which receives a mere 62 cents per person. The analysis reveals stark geographic disparities in spending, not including the 40 counties that failed to receive any pork spending. Some counties that received high dollar amounts, such as Oakland County, at $46,498,500, and Washtenaw County at 27 million and some change, still did not receive an amount that equals the average per capita. Oakland County received 37 per capita or per person, and Washtenaw County received 76 per capita per person. So even though they got all this money based off the population, it's still not even the average, which they said was $100 per person. And it's crazy. But this article show how some half the counties in Michigan ain't getting no money for pork spending or whatever it is, and then some counties is getting 12 counties is only 12 counties is getting above average. It's all over the place. It's not right. So that's more reason why we need DOGE. We need this oversight committee that Matt Hall just put in so they could bring the heat. Hall's ethics, accountability, and transparency. You got Steve Carr on in that committee, or on part of that Freedom Caucus, Matt Maddox. We got a couple warriors in here, but we got to keep fighting. We need more. The end of this article say the 2025 state budget clearly contains plentiful pork spending that almost none of the taxpayers who provided the money will be able to enjoy. So, you know, such uneven allocation demands public scrutiny. The spending numbers strongly suggest that last year's legislative majority engaged in clear favoritism when deciding how to spend your money. So I wonder if these 12 counties were blue counties. That's a good question. You know what I'm saying? Are since the Democrats was in control the past few years, where they giving money to blue counties and neglecting red counties? I show you 40, 40 counties, half the state didn't get extra pork money. Great. So Mackinac Center for Public Policy is a great source if you want to stay up to date on the information they dropping out. Um, we got another article put out by, never heard of this source, but found it. Governing, um, governing.com. They got an article about uh, GOP State Rep Rachel Smith. It's titled, the article from last week, New Michigan House Elections Chair is an Election Denier. So am I. Mhm. Now, the way they talk about, they use these adjectives and words to negatively um, paint the article, but that's just what fake news sources do. Well, we're going to read through it. GOP State Rep Rachel Schmidt, a former local clerk here in Michigan, continues to spout false claims about the 2020 election. She's now the chair of the Michigan House's newly renamed Election Integrity Committee. Yeah, boy. Anyway, State Rep Rachel Smith, a former local clerk who believes the 2020 presidential election was stolen from President Donald Trump, will run the Michigan House's Committee on Elections under the new GOP leadership. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, we got the House back, baby. One small step for Michigan. Smith, a Republican, was named the chair of the House's Election Integrity Committee, as it has now been renamed. Yeah, we're making it known. Um, anyway, her claims that the 2020 election was stolen have been roundly debunked, but won her an endorsement from President Donald Trump. who praised her as someone who knows our elections are not secure and that there was rampant voter fraud in the 2020 presidential election. I'm gonna try to refrain from jumping in with my personal views, but it's hard when they just spinning these articles so bad. But anyway, I absolutely think that it was stolen. Yeah, and I'm not shy to say that, Smith said in an interview with VoteBeat, repeating false claims that there were ballot dumps in the early morning hours after Election Day in 2020. Hmm. In 2023, she argued that a group of Michigan Trump supporters charged with creating a forged slate of electors for Trump after the 2020 election, despite Joe Biden's win in Michigan, had not done anything wrong and said that their actions were completely legal. She has also supported Darleaf. Oh, oh, oh. I love Darleaf, the Berry County Sheriff who has gotten national attention for his efforts to investigate the 2020 election. Shout out to Sheriff Darleaf. I can't even help interrupt him with this. Shout out to Sheriff Darleaf. And they didn't include the fact that Darleaf provided evidence and receipts of election fraud and sent it to Attorney General Dana Nessel. She swept it under the rug. So he sent it to Jim uh, I can't even think of the legislator last name. It just escapes me. But Darleaf is a pit bull for freedom and for the Constitution. Um, so yeah, they saying she's still repeating a big lie when, and she is an election denier when really they the ones continuing to deny the truth, and they the ones pushing the big lie that everything was safe and secure. It's ridiculous. Ed McBroom know the election was stolen. Dana Nessel know the election was stolen. Whitmer, Jocelyn Benson was in charge of the steal. Mike Duggan was even the mayor. I believe he is a puppet on a string as well. And now he running for governor. And so is Jocelyn Benson. But we had evidence from Muskegon, which is a half hour south of me, from uh, county clerks and for residents in Muskegon. They found voter fraud, thousands of fraudulent ballots, turned them in, called the police. It was an investigation that was swept under the rug by Dana Nessel. Jim Jordan. Uh, Jim Jordan is the legislator, the congressman that Darleaf tried to get the information to, and we still waiting to hear from that. I got to dig into that. They keep. I'm getting off track. But the fact of the matter is, we got Smith in here. She is clearly standing on business when it comes to the election. She the chair of the election integrity committee. So all hope is not lost here in Michigan. We got a few warriors in there fighting. We got more rising up, more getting involved, and the establishment hates it. And we gonna keep making them mad. So it says, now as the head of the committee, she will direct its progress over the next 2 years on legislation related to voting, elections, campaign finance, and more. That includes the Republican-led effort to amend Michigan's constitution to require voters to show proof of citizenship, which Smith is co-sponsoring. The House Joint Resolution, introduced Wednesday, will stop first in the Election Integrity Committee before it likely goes before the full House. It's of the utmost importance, she said. That's going to be the first order of business that we take up. So, like other Republicans in the House, Schmidt said she has no reason to believe Michigan's elections aren't secure. Rather, she said she hoped to make clear to Michigan residents that legislators take the integrity of the state's elections seriously. So yeah, this is a article you can find at governing.com. Governing.com. So Hope she keep doing her thing in there. It's a lot going on in Michigan. More warriors rising up, but we also facing pushback from the establishment and from the swamp preachers and the foot soldiers and the media, and they got all this money. So the war wages on, but we just need more people to get involved, get informed, educated, and empowered, and join the battle. So before we get out of here today, I'm gonna just jump on X real quick and go over some of the posts related to Michigan that I found, and also we always discuss Patrick Colbeck's X posts, a little segment I call Patrick's Corner. This right here is a mathematic who um posed a good question. Now, Matt is Mishan Maddox's husband, and y'all know how I feel about Mishan. She is a Decepticon in my eyes, and her husband, he do good things for the Republican Party. He does do good things, but he is someone to keep your eye on as well. But here we go. Now, she said all that to not even answer the question. That's how these politicians, that's what they good at. I hope y'all can hear that. I'm still getting my kinks worked out with the technical stuff, but they just do whatever they want with our tax dollars, man. And Musk and DOGE is in there exposing it. We got the House committee, uh, the new oversight committee, chaired by Jay DeBoyer, just put together by Matt Hall, and they gonna be operating like DOGE here in Michigan. It's all about finding what's efficient in government and what's not. They had the nerve to tell us who was essential and who wasn't. We about to tell them. And one thing people got to realize, man, it's up to us to demand each and every politician do what we are calling for, and it's up to us to lead initiatives and wake people up and fight for what's right and fight to expose what's wrong. We can't leave it up to Trump or to our representatives to do it all. It's up to each and every one of us to demand accountability, demand transparency, hold their feet to the fire. It's up to all of us, you know. To we got to expose the truth. We got to demand they expose the truth. We got to do what's right. We got to demand they do what's right. They ain't recording and spreading the truth, and giving us airtime. We the media now. Get by you got a camera in your hand. Your phone is a camera. You can get buy a little tripod, start recording stuff. You could send it to a podcaster. They'll chop it up and put it out there. You could start a podcast, put it out there. We in this. It's us. We the people. You know what I'm saying? We the people. Here's another article, twist X post by Megan Reckling. Um, Governor Whitmer says there's no money to fix the roads unless she raises our taxes, except when it comes to cutting a $550,000 check annually to a friend of hers who works for a nonprofit as their CEO through a $20 million taxpayer funded grant. Mm-hmm. So this is what Matt was just asking about. You know, this is an article put out by Bethel Blanca, Detroit News. The chief executive officer, hold on, let me see. The chief executive officer of a Metro Detroit not-for-profit organization is receiving $550K annually through a $20 million state taxpayer-funded grant. Taxpayer-funded to run a program focused on attracting business investment to Michigan from other countries, the Detroit News has learned. Metro Detroit businesswoman Faye Badoon's salary is 3 times what the governor of Michigan is paid annually. Wow. And what if she over there recruiting WEF organizations and WHO organizations from other countries? But they out there flying across the world on our dollars to do their own agendas, not even the will of the people. It's sad, man. I really hope this new oversight committee is Michigan's DOGE, Michigan's version of DOGE, and they get to exposing stuff. This is an article from Dave Bondi, fellow citizen journalist, fellow investigative reporter. He says breaking border patrol announces 7 illegal migrants from Mexico were busted by agents in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Yesterday, agents in Sault Ste. Marie apprehended 7 illegals from Mexico as part of Detroit sector's ongoing immigration enforcement efforts. Interesting. All right. Pat Hobeck. This he shared something saying what federal statutes have been violated in the 2020 election and by whom per the evidence in the files and links provided. So he said, I sure hope that the Justice Department under Pam Bondi is using AI to cull through all of the evidence of election fraud coming their way. It will be a real time saver, and folks are getting a bit antsy about seeing those behind the 2020 coup in orange jumpsuits. Plus, if AI is limited to consideration of actual evidence provided rather than internet based media stories, the results will be quite objective as well. In less than 60 seconds, Perplexity Deep Research feature found at least 12 federal statutes were violated by at least 20 individuals simply on the basis of the records I have collected. Time to package into a federal complaint. P.S. Pam, please ask Elon Musk for assistance if needed. Woo! So this is AI. You can ask AI, hey, what according to the US Constitution, what federal laws and statutes have been violated and by who? And that and the computer be like get the spitting out forms and files and answers to your questions. Saving tons of time and money. So Elon Musk know how to use this technology, this AI. Of course, it can be used for evil and bad and satanic agendas. but it also can be used for good and for righteous and for godly agendas as well. So we got to use it for what's good, what's right. Mm, mm, mm. This is some bickering and backering. This get deep. I don't want to go into it right now. We're already 40 minutes in. But this is an article Jocelyn Benson with the Nation of Islam and people causing a fuss about it. They just Jocelyn and them just do all this stuff for optics and for diversity, equity, inclusion agenda, and trying to act like they like people that they don't, and trying to get photo ops with everybody they can. But as it get deeper than that. Here's another article by Patrick Colbeck put out 2 days ago. It says, USAID used to fund Smartmatic. Smartmatic bone connected to the Dominion bone. Mm, mm, mm. This article he shared was from Emerald Robinson, highlighting how U.S. government invests 500,000 U.S. dollars to pilot new voting technologies in 2024 in Bosnia and Herzegovina, how do you say that, municipal elections. And right here, it goes on to say the scanners will be provided by election technology company Smartmatic. USAID funding Smartmatic. Yeah, follow the money. They always say follow the money. Well, USAID is a deep state government pool of money that they rob from the taxpayers and use to fund their own agendas. They use our own money against us. They use our own money to fund wars, to start wars, fund both sides of the wars. They blowing our money when we deserve it. We need it. It's our money. Mhm. It's so crazy, man. It's so crazy. Here's another article put out by Pat Colbeck. It's on the 14th. In case you missed it, New York Governor and AG first in line of state officials to be held accountable for their violations of federal law. Next up, Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold, Michigan Secretary of State Benson, and AG Nessel. That's as far as we need to go right now. Ooh-wee. Come on, Pam Bondi. Come on, man. My birthday was last week. All I want is some justice here in Michigan. I just want Gretchen and Dana and Jocelyn to be held accountable. And I want these rhinos exposed, man, all the way to the grassroots. In contrast to the other federal agencies, it appears that AG Pam Bondi may need to go on a hiring spree. The good news is that there are meddling kids in each of these states, which have done most of the grunt work collecting and organizing publicly available evidence. He ain't lying right there. He ain't lying right there. Y'all know when Pat Colbeck say meddling kids, he referring to Scooby Doo. At the end, when the bad guy always say, "If it wasn't for you meddling kids, I would have got away with it." Yeah, well, we the meddling kids. We the meddling children of God. That's who we is, and we in every state, baby. Where we go one, we go all. We out here, and we got it by the grace of God. We was created by a God for this purpose. And speaking of that, my homeboy, that documentary I was just telling y'all about, America on Fire, directed and put together by Ethan Hobson. 32-minute documentary. Ethan is definitely a meddling kid, and there's many of us out here. He put a lot of time into that short documentary, It's packed with wisdom and information regarding Michigan. It is packed. It talk about how the election. It laid down all the receipts for how the election was stolen, and it got Mike Dugan is in it, Jocelyn Benson, George Soros, Stephen Ross, Ron Weiser. Man, he laying it all out there. Uh, Priority USA Action, GBI, Warner Norcross. Man, we've been on the ground meddling kids in Michigan, baby. Let's go. The videos I'm showing have no sound. Thanks, brother George. I gotta read. Let me stop sharing that. Reshare that. I'm doing something wrong. So I'll begin having a comment section. Man, I need some good videos too. I don't know. I bet I forgot to push the share sign, but okay. Okay. Maybe I'll be able to get it. We having good little videos to show too. Let me try this one again. Let me know if you can hear this one.
Being patient with us with the delay. We're here today because we have filed charges against the state of New York. We have filed charges against Kathy Hochul. We have filed charges against Letitia James and Mark Schroeder, who is with DMV. This is a new DOJ, and we are taking steps to protect Americans, American citizens, and angel moms, like the mom standing right behind me, who you're going to hear from in a moment. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stops today. As you know, we sued Illinois, and New York didn't listen. So now you're next. Millions of illegal aliens with violent records have flooded into our communities, bringing violence and deadly drugs with them. With me today, I'm so...
All right. I guess the sound ain't working. I gotta work out them kinks on that. She ain't playing. She ain't playing.
Thanks for being patient with us.
It's going down, man. Follow me on X. Follow me on X. Y'all can see all my posts I put up. I put out dozens of posts, repost stuff. Follow me on that. Thanks, brother George, for letting me know that. I'm gonna continue to work it out. You know. But Pam Bondi ain't playing. Tom Homan ain't playing. Donald Trump ain't playing. Elon Musk ain't playing. The meddling kids ain't playing. We need more people to get involved. You want to raise your kids, train them up in the word, train them up in the Constitution as well. Raise them to be young warriors for God. You know what I'm saying? We out here. We ain't going nowhere. Take a stand for Christ. Take a stand. He called us to be set apart. He don't want us fitting in with this lost world. So that just about wraps it up. At the end, I want to read the verse of the day. Today, the verse is Mark chapter 16, verse 15. And he said unto them, Go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. Learn the truth and spread the truth. That goes out to all the podcasters, to all the truth tellers, to all the ministers, men and women of God. Bible say, Go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned. And these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name shall they cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents. And if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. This is the red letters out of Mark. And the Lord is saying once you take him on, take him in, you become a new person and you can do greater things than even he did. So who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that through Christ, through Yahshua, through God the Creator? Man, it's a spiritual war going on out here. Get involved, get engaged, get informed, get that armor on. We out here. We need you. The meddling kids need the more the merrier of the meddling kids. God is good. Thank y'all for tuning back in once again to another episode of Logik View. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, please like, share, drop comments, and even prayer requests down below. And also, subscribe so you can stay notified each and every time our weekly content is uploaded. Sorry about the no sound in the videos. I only had a few videos. They were some good videos, but they are on my X page. You guys want to check them out? Love y'all. God bless y'all. Bye.